Guys, welcome back to Tully Television, and tonight we're going to be doing a little live stream here. I hope maybe some people can stop by. If not, it's okay. I'll still do the topics I want to cover today, and hopefully you guys will catch us on the flip side if we don't catch each other here. Just checking out my old man hair. Bustaloo, hello. I'm drinking a little bit of my green lemon tea. But thank you all for who's been stopping by, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing videos here at Tully Television. We truly, truly appreciate it. Without you guys stopping by and watching and viewing and liking, we wouldn't be at the level we are today with Tully Television. I am very grateful about the progress, progression and progress that we've been having here at the channel the last few months, at the end of last year, at the beginning of this year, and I'm hoping that um, as much as we did a celebration of 75 subscribers so long ago now, that my next milestone that I want to celebrate of 300 subscribers continues. We're currently at 168 subs. I feel like we can definitely reach that 300 by the end of the year because we're so close to it. We've gained so many new subscribers over the last few months, last few weeks. I hope that you guys can continue to stop by and continue to watch us and be entertained by us. And if you don't ever agree with any reviews or anything that you find here, that's okay. Let me know how you feel down below. I'm always up for some friendly discourse, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with a difference of opinion. There's always a way to just go about it and debate and all that stuff. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone again for getting there. When we hit 300 subscribers, I'd like to do like a giveaway of a few comic books or something, or a few comic books with, say, one of these little bad boys up here. Like, I can add one of these in with a group of comic books. Um, just little random stuff that I think is entertaining and and I would hope that you guys like and are entertained by it as well. Um, Again, it's not always. It's always great to have a difference of opinion sometimes with certain things. Um, I'm trying to think of any new movies I've caught this new year, like that came out in 2023. I don't think so, even though it's only been a few weeks old this year. Uh, I guess the only real newer movies I've seen that I didn't see. I did a review on this earlier tonight. I uploaded a review of this. Was the Super Sons that is on HBO Max, DC animated. It's a DC animated movie. Like I said in that review, I've always been a fan of DC animated films. I just feel like they were better uh, it felt like they were all in continuity. Marvel's animated stuff is always so. It's all right, man, but not all of it is. You got to gear some of it towards kids and stuff. So I guess you have to really keep that in mind when you're creating some of these shows. But I did like the Super Sons. I hope that they do make a sequel to this movie. But go check that review out. I'll try to remember to leave a link to it in either the description or the comments there of the Super Sons review after the stream. But yeah, great Great, great animated movie. They fight off an alien invasion, so to speak. Also, over the weekend, I sent part two of the Wednesday series review that we're doing. Just waiting on Tim now. He was patiently waiting for me all this time. I was having technical difficulties, so he finally got. I was finally able to send that to him, and just waiting on him to do his nifty little magic. I'm hoping to see more of the magic that he created because that first part of Wednesday, the review that we did, is still currently our highest rated. Well, I mean, highest rated, highest viewed video at the moment, whether it be a short or a longer video. So I don't know exactly what you guys consider a long form video. I guess maybe anything after 10 minutes. I don't know, but I do know that out of the whole channel's history of Tully Television here, we reached our heights of 4,000 views on that first one. And I'm very happy for all of us. I want to again thank all of you guys for checking it out. Um, yeah, part two, maybe we'll get 8,000 views. That would be what? I'm already impressed with 4,000 views, but I'm hungry still. I'm very hungry still, guys. So come on, come on. But over the weekend, I'm telling you guys, if you love goofy, goofy Halloween horror movies, goofy horror movies, I guess to watch during Halloween, I got a great one for you here. If you like movies like Thanksgiving or Leprechaun or uh, Willy's Wonderland, which I still have to do a review of that for that on this channel with Jordan because he put me onto that. Well, in this vein of all those movies that came before it and ones that will come after it, like Cocaine Bear, I bring you the Banana Splits. That's right, guys. The Banana Splits was made into a horror movie. And yes, it cashes in on that animatronic craze that happened a few years ago with Five Nights at Freddy's, and all that stuff. I got a couple of quotes here that I'm gonna see if they're good here, but survey closes. Uh, I wonder what that was. Anyway, but here one's Blu-ray, one is like a regular digital copy of it, and so the premise of this movie is that I guess in this universe that it follows, the Banana Splits never were canceled as a television show, and it grew to the popularity of say a Barney. So this mother and a husband have a young son who seems to maybe be autistic, but they never exactly say that. But being I have myself an autistic son, I do know certain behaviors that movies try to do to show that that character's autistic. So, so it's basically an autistic kid, 10, 11 years old, and he watches the Banana Splits show and gets into it like a 5 year old or a 4 year old would get into Barney. And then we have the mother and the father of that child. Yes, I actually did, but I'll go over that. Eternally grateful seas again. Um, as a reminder, when we hit 300 subscribers, we are going to. I figured I'm gonna do like a limited series maybe of the banana splits, yes, of a movie, and then one of these posters I was saying maybe. But when we get closer to it, I'll think of more of a consolidated thing I want to do. But it'll be a nifty little prize I'll be giving out once we hit 300 subscribers. But the Banana Splits movie, it's basically this kid's birthday. He's like 10 or 11. His mom and his dad and his older brother are trying to throw him a party that no one shows up for. Because again, at the age range that this kid is at, no one is watching the banana splits, and the father's kind of curious on why his kid is so babyish in a way. And the mother's just like, he's just being a kid or whatever. He just likes the show. And the older brother has a different father because we see that they definitely have tension. The older son and stepfather. Um, the ultimate birthday prize for the little kid is that they're gonna go watch the Banana Splits perform live in front of them at a movie studio. And it reminds me much of something I did with my son many, many years ago, where Dan TDM, the famous YouTuber, was having a tour, and my son went to me and was like, "Can we see if he's coming to New York, and maybe if we can have see his performance or whatever?" And of course, even though I don't have to understand my son's hobbies or like my son's hobbies, I want him to be able to come to me and, share his hobbies with me so I can, get to know him and everything, of course. So I was like, yeah, of course. So we're going to look up the tickets and everything and everything. And as he went into the room, I was like, I turned to the missus and I was like, eternally grateful to see us here. And I was like, but he plays like video games. What is he gonna do on stage? Just play video games? I'm not understanding what this is gonna be. And we wound up having to go to the Beacon Theater for this performance, okay? And it was the first time Noah was in Manhattan and having genuine New York City pizza. We were hanging out at this little park where he was chasing pigeons for like a half hour, 40 minutes before the performance began. We go in, we get our little popcorn, we get our little soda, and we wait for Dan TDM to come. And it was pretty innovative. It kind of impressed me a bit because of not knowing what to expect going in. I thoroughly enjoyed what the process of the show was, and it was really interesting to see that many kids at the time really be into this guy. But the premise of the show was that it was like a mystery show. He was to come out and thank everyone for coming by to his show, and before he gets into the show, oh, what the show is going to be, his dogs were kidnapped or dog napped, and so we have to figure out where the dogs are and everything. I think he had a couple of pugs or something like that at the time. So the concept of the show was that it was solving the dog napping and saving the dogs for the day, and that lasted for about an hour, hour and a half because so a little intermission. Uh, he brought some of his YouTube characters to life on stage. I think one was a Doctor Tyrannus or something to that degree. But yeah, yeah. So it was the Banana Splits was something similar to that. They were just doing their performances. They get canceled, and the programming that they have, being the animatronics, is the show must go on. So with the show being canceled, they feel like they got to go nuts to make sure that the show goes on. And eventually, throughout the movie, we see some innovative kills. We see some to save on the budget. They don't show everything, but the things they do show are really good, really well done. What they did for the performances of the four banana splits was they hired dancers to be able to move around the way they wanted them to move around. Um, there's really no major stars in this movie. I almost feel like the oldest son was Flash Thompson in Spider Man, but I'd have to look that up. I don't want to say for sure that that was the case. Um, but yeah, I thought that this was like I said, some of the kills were pretty innovative. Some of the deaths, and they left it definitely open for a sequel. The movie came out in 2019. Uh, Again, with the way they left it behind, they can definitely make a sequel out of this, and I hope they do because it was a pretty funny movie. I love movies like this that are just really goofy. Really know what they have, and this movie was just really, really gold. And I hope that we can at least get one more. Um, Before I go into the next one here, I just want to give a little shout out to my brother and sister. I don't really talk too much about personal life issues here, and I'm not going to get too much into that now, even at the moment. But my brother and sister are going through some personal times, tough times, and if you come across this, um, I'm just gonna name them as K and B. You know, so if you come across this and if you can give out some random positive thoughts to Mr. K and Mrs. B, I'd appreciate that. And they're having a tough go of things lately, and I'm always there for them. I will always be there for them. And uh, if you guys have any personal issues that you're going through, keep your head up, man. It's not the end for you. It is only just a day that you're having that will be done with, and hopefully tomorrow will be a fresh start for you as well. Um, it's hard to remember that when you're in it, that uh, this will never pass, but this too shall pass. And I love Mr. K and Mrs. B, and I love you guys. And if you have any family and friends that are going through a rough time, um, just shoot them a little text. It doesn't even have to be about talking about feelings. It could, hey, how you holding up text is usually sufficient enough for people sometimes to be like, I'm doing okay, but I'll get through. So if you know someone like that in your life, shoot them that message. And if you are that person, how you holding up, man? Don't forget this too shall pass. But I digress. I don't want to get too heavy and meta here. I usually try to keep it light with you guys, unless we're going into a video knowing that topic is going to be heavy. I just don't want to add a heavy topic in the middle of the video. But the one last thing I'm going to show you guys for the night, and I might talk about something else too before after this. Uh, because of it being a long emotional day for myself too, with certain things. Um, I had a mission. I had a mission for a while, and I feel like I might have talked about this mission on this video on this channel. And if I haven't, I'm gonna update those of you about this mission. Okay. Many, many years ago, there was this series of comic books that came out called the 2099 line. And the first initial titles were Doom 2099, The Punisher 2099, Ravage 2099, I'm sorry, my nose is itchy as crap. And Spider-Man 2099. Now, obviously, from what these comic books sound like, these characters are set in the year 2099. At the time, it was supposed to be 100 years into the future of the year that Marvel Comics was in then, 1999. But what I used to do is I was a big comic book collector even back then at 18. How old was I? How old was I when this particular comic book came out? So 1994, I was about 18 when this happened. And um, when you gave, when you had ideas and thoughts about where the title should go, or thoughts and ideas about different directions, different character interactions and stuff, you would write in to the comic book company, whether it be DC Comics or Image Comics or Marvel Comics. To That's how we would communicate with the creators. There was no Facebook, there was no Instagram, there was no emailing at really at the time, or that was very early in the infancy. That it's definitely not what was accessible now to the degree that you can just send an Instagram post, boom, they get it, da da da, and it's instant interaction. You'd have to write a letter out, then put it in an envelope and address it and put stamps on it and give it to your mail person and put it in the mailbox and hope that it would get there. And in the hopes that one day the odds of your comic book title or your favorite series posting a letter will get granted. Getting a letter written that you wrote printed in a comic book back then, to me, is like getting the equivalent of you tweeting someone or at someone famous and they like that tweet, or you comment on their tweet and they like your comment. I would say that was the same dopamine hit I got with this. And so in this comic book, 2099 Unlimited, and it was mainly a Hulk story. Uh, and then a Hazard 2099 story and a Duke Stratosphere story. I think that was the first time they did Duke Stratosphere in this. But let's see. Boom, boom, boom. But all right. So first off, let me show you. Even this is the Hulk story. I just want to show you what the Hulk looked like. It's one of the. But get back to my thing here, dude. I wound up finding the issue that my letter was printed in. And I'm gonna hope that, let's see here, because I'm trying to. So hold on. I'm just gonna read what I wrote to the Unlimited team, because 2099 Unlimited. Great work from all the people in 2099. Fantastic and wonderful. Fantastic and wonderful work on the Hulk 2099. The way it followed the fall of the hammer in issue 3 is pretty excellent. I think the Hulk should stay in the Unlimited book for now. He needs to be more developed. As for that poll someone mentioned in last issue's letter page, here are my picks. Uh, Best character Spider-Man 2099. Best costume Doom 2099. Best villain Vulture 2099. Yeah, it was big just to add the 2099 moniker at the end. Uh, Most changed character was Ravage from Man to Beast. Best issue was X-Men 2099 1. Best storyline was Doom 1 through 4. And best death was, again, Vulture. Let's see, though, if I can get my name here. There it is. Bartoli, Jackson Heights, New York. Yeah, that's it. I got a, I got printed, man. I got printed in the comic book, and I was so happy about it that I felt like it was totally rad and tubular, man. Um, which it is, which it is. Um, yeah, I was totally snazzed about that and very uberly happy over it. Um, and the stories in there were pretty good too. I enjoyed them. Um, but yeah, that is pretty much what I wanted to go over today. I didn't have too much to want to go over today because I still got to do. Oh, excuse me. I still got to do The Last of Us for tomorrow at some point. I want to try to upload that tomorrow. The Last of Us episode 2. I want to do issue 3 of Way of X review because I have the for other two stories up already. And so, yeah, that's my goal for the next couple days. Get those two videos out. Once Tim has a chance to send me Wednesday Part 2, I'll put that up. So that's going to be the next like 2 to 3 videos that we're going to do. And then whatever little shorts we do in between. Perhaps I'll perhaps I'll think of some other things to do in the meantime. But again, I want to thank everyone really for stopping by because if it wasn't for you guys seriously checking us out and doing all that great stuff, I wouldn't be here trying to continue to do this. I see that uh, there's an interest, and I hope that we can continue to entertain that interest. And that's about it for now, guys. There's really not much more that I want to. Weird Al Yankovic. Maybe I'll do Weird Al Yankovic this week. That that movie looks pretty good, and I like Daniel Radcliffe. And Daniel Radcliffe did a really rad movie called Horns many years ago, and I like him so much as an actor, and I feel like he's going to do good in Weird Al Yankovic. And a weird story about Weird Al Yankovic's parents is that years ago they had passed away to carbon monoxide poisoning, and he says if they would have just had a sensor in the house, that they could have very well been alive today. And he always speaks about people want making sure people get carbon monoxide detectors. So Weird Al movie was awesome. Yeah, I want to really check it out because I love him and Chrissy. I showed Chrissy last night the UHF movie that he did, where he was a broadcast manager for uh, what do you call it? Public access station, and all the different skits they did in there. And oddly enough, the movie is dedicated to an actor who passed away around the time of filming, and they ended up dedicating the movie to him. UHF was good. Yes, it was. It was because it just was goofy. You got um, Kramer from Seinfeld there. He did pretty good, but I mean, of course, after Seinfeld, he kind of shot himself in the foot with the whole comedy stand-up act that day. If you don't know what I mean, just look up Kramer. Michael Richards is funny. Yes, I mean he is funny. I like him. He just really, like I said, shot himself in the foot that day with. He got irritated. I forgot what it was he got irritated about, but he kind of said some stuff that was really like got him in some hot water, and it kind of killed his momentum after Seinfeld. Unfortunately, that guy is one of the better physical comedians. His the whole slapstick thing, he does it well, and yeah, unfortunate that shot himself in the foot. Um, Also, before I go out, Alec Baldwin, man, is I didn't really realize he was going to get in as much trouble as he did. Did I ever see Transylvania 6? No, actually, I want to see that. I have a familiarity with that movie. I remember seeing the title growing up and maybe seeing commercials for it. Uh, I don't, but no, I've never seen that movie. I'm willing to watch anything that's goofy though, because I remember as a kid, my mother sometimes she would just shake her head because I would love, of course, Pee Wee's Playhouse and um, what is that one movie with Jim Carrey where he's a vampire where Once Bitten, maybe Once Bitten, where Jim Carrey was a vampire. And then there's this other movie. Was it Earth Girls Are Easy? I thought movie was funny too, and it wasn't really, of course, what my teenage mind was thinking. But I think Monster Squad meets Young Frankenstein. Okay, okay, because I love both of those movies actually. Young Frankenstein or Steen, so to speak. That was a classic movie, man. Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks are Once Bitten. It was Once Bitten. Yeah, Gene Wilder and Mel Brooks together, man. They are phenomenal. They're phenomenal. I love, still to this day, I love Blazing Saddles because I just love the fact that the sheriff's name is Bart, and just that whole scene of him coming into town finally to save Rich Rock, and the guy's just saying that the sheriff is, and every time it just dings, and if it's just basically him saying the sheriff is a black person, but not the nice word. He's not saying a nice word for it, and the movie was definitely social commentary at the time of like how stupid are we with certain things. But yeah, Blazing Saddles was great. Young Frankenstein was great. Um, Gene Wilder movies. I tell you, uh, with Richard Pryor, there was some of those movies were fucking classic too. I hope you two don't get me in trouble for saying that word, but you had See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, where one of them was deaf, one of them was blind, supposedly. That's the one I remember the most. I know there's two other ones that Stir Crazy. I forget the third one. Uh, My mother knew I was in for an interesting life because she's like, you watch the weirdest, like weirdest stuff way before you want to watch it. I actually, Jeff Goldblum before the. Oh my God, Jeff Goldblum, my guy. Jeff Goldblum is my hero. I If I was to meet Jeff Goldblum right now and pass away, I would die literally one of the happiest men, because that man is a national treasure and should be protected all the time, and his consciousness should be downloaded into an AI system and give him a robotic synthesized body so Jeff Goldblum can live forever. He needs to live forever. And he needs to be the sexy Goldblum from Jurassic Park, not uh, even though he's sexy now as an old man. If you like Jeff Goldblum, anyone who comes across this, go to Disney Plus and watch The World According to Jeff Goldblum. And he talks about being a sneakerhead. He talks about ice cream. He talks about jewelry. He talks about a bunch of RVs. He talks about RVs, stuff that you would not think he would talk about. And plus, he gives little not lessons, like life stories of himself growing up and what motivated him for this or that. And yeah, Brendan Fraser, these type of people really need to be more put on a pedestal than some of the other celebrities we put on the pedestal, because I really feel like if you were to run into Brendan Fraser or Jeff Goldblum, that it would really be just some wholesome fun ensuing from there. And I think there's not enough of wholesome fun sometimes where it's especially celebrated wholesome fun. I think we've missed out on some of that over the years, and Jeff Goldblum is definitely up there as someone I would love to meet and just dilly dally all day with him, just even if it was to run errands. I would run errands with Jeff Goldblum just to be get insight and that mind that he has. But yeah, man, Jeff Goldblum, he's the bee's knees. Actually, man, I should do some Jeff. Believe it or not, believe it or not, what am I believing or not? What am I believing or not? What are we believing or not? What are we looking at? No. The RZA is the same way in person. I wouldn't doubt that because of the way uh, with some of the things he's done over the years, as far as like the Chappelle Show and stuff. I feel like maybe there was a point in his life that he took himself seriously, but I realized like uh, leans into certain things too, and he strikes me as a genuine person. There was a and Method Man, Redman too. Redman didn't he when he did Cribs? Wasn't it just basically an apartment tour? And he was like, yeah, so these are like where I keep my Pop Tarts, and this is where I put my PlayStation 2. you know, uh, I not saying I wouldn't have a nice house or have a nice setup to my home if I had money, but really the vast decorating would be probably done by the missus. My man cave would probably be very basic with, some recliners or movie theater seats, projector, uh, big TV, apps, a little bar down there, pool table, dartboard, um, and various posters, comic books hanging up, action figures hanging up. It would kind of be just basically what my bedroom looked like as a kid, but with beer bottles in it and liquor bottles instead of Capri Suns and strawberry Nesquik bottles. A random Sprite bottle. Yeah, so that's what my the man cave would look like. I know, but other than that, I'd be pretty simple. Pretty simple. Um, just give me Superman number one, Action Comics number one, and I just need some $1 million comic books too. That's all. Um, but yeah, yeah, I think that's about it, man. Think that's about it. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to go over for the night. Um, yeah, so yeah, maybe I'll do the Weird Al. That's how we got into this, the Weird Al, because I'm seeing the advertise. It's like sitting right there in my peripheral. The Weird Al Yankovic story. I think I'm definitely gonna watch that. I'm gonna check out that Transylvania 6-5000 movie, and I'm gonna go into a Jeff Goldblum rabbit hole later too. I want to thank everyone though for stopping by and liking and commenting all that stuff. I want to thank you, Tim. I want to thank Eternally Grateful Seas, Jordan, and everyone who's helped me produce content on this channel. I want to thank you guys for watching the content. I hope we can continue to entertain you and give you an escape away from your everyday worries and cares. That's why we're here. Any suggestions for future videos you can leave down below or comment on any other video that we have and let us know what it is that you're looking for us to do. And that's about it. I want to thank you guys. And until next time, peace, Snookums.